Welcome to Horror Trivia Saturday, the series where I uncover the strange, true, and often unsettling stories that happen behind the scenes of horror's most iconic films and games. Now, this isn't just trivia for trivia's sake. This is about understanding how horror works, how it evolves, and how ideas move from one medium to another. Today's episode sits right at the crossroads of film and video games, and it's about an influence that reshaped an entire horror franchise. When people talk about Silent Hill, they usually focus on the fog, the monsters, the sirens, the oppressive atmosphere. But very few people stop to ask where that visual language actually came from. Because much of what is associated with Silent Hill didn't originate in video games at all. It came from a 1990s psychological horror film called Jacob's Ladder. And once you see the connection, you can't unsee it. So which horror film directly influenced the visual style, monster movement, and psychological tone of Silent Hill? The answer is Jacob's Ladder. But to understand why that matters, we need to break down what the film was actually doing and why it worked. Jacob's Ladder wasn't terrifying because of jump scares or gore. It was terrifying because it destabilized reality. The film uses rapid head-shaking movements, faces that blur or smear unnaturally, and flickering lights and unstable environments, along with scenes that feel like they've half-rendered or unfinished. These visuals weren't random. Director Adrian Lyne was inspired by PTSD hallucinations, near-death experiences, religious imagery filtered through trauma. The film creates a feeling that the world itself is breaking down, not just the protagonist. And that idea, that reality can't be trusted, is the foundation of Silent Hill. When Konami began developing Silent Hill, the developers weren't trying to copy slasher movies or creature features. They wanted psychological horror. They wanted discomfort. They wanted the player to feel like something was wrong long before anything attacked them. And Jacob's Ladder gave them the blueprint. So let's talk specifics, because this influence really isn't subtle. So first off, the head-shaking movement is the most famous visual connection. In Jacob's Ladder, demonic figures violently shake their heads at unnatural speeds. It creates a stuttering, unreadable image. Your brain can't lock onto it. Silent Hill adopts this almost exactly. That twitching, jerking movement seen in nurses, mannequins, and other creatures, that's not a technical limitation. It's intentional disorientation. The blurred faces and lost identity. In Jacob's Ladder, faces melt, smear, or disappear entirely. In Silent Hill, monsters often lack faces altogether or wear distorted versions of them. The horror isn't what they are. It's the suggestion that identity itself has been erased. The flickering reality? Jacob's Ladder constantly shifts between safe spaces and nightmares, memory and hallucinations, life and death. Silent Hill mirrors this with fog world versus otherworld, sirens triggering reality shifts, and environments rusting and decaying in real time. In both the setting becomes unstable, and that instability is the horror. What Silent Hill took from Jacob's Ladder wasn't just visuals. It took a philosophy of fear. That philosophy says, don't explain too much, don't show everything clearly, let the audience feel lost. This is horror that attacks intuition, not logic. You're not scared because you understand the threat, you're scared because you don't. Modern horror still borrows from this language. You see it in twitching figures, glitch horror, unreliable realities, and trauma-based narratives. All of it traces back to Jacob's Ladder and the way Silent Hill adapted that visual grammar into an interactive experience. It's a reminder that horror evolves by refining fear, not escalating it. So here's the bigger question to leave you with. Is horror more effective when it shows monsters clearly or when it makes you question what you've even seen? Because Jacob's Ladder and Silent Hill both argue the same thing. Fear lives in uncertainty. Now, if you enjoy deep dives like this into horror history, visual storytelling, and how fear is constructed across mediums, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more episodes like this. Now, until next time, watch the shadows, trust your unease, and remember, sometimes the most terrifying horror isn't what's chasing you, it's realizing the nightmare was never meant to end.